Back to school is that season of the school year where teachers and school staff get the opportunity to set the tone and the foundation for the upcoming school year. It can be a lot of fun, but it's also a very crucial time. However, there are mistakes that I see teachers making in that first month of school that tends to put a crack in the foundation. So in today's video, I will be sharing mistakes that teachers make in the first month of school. Stay tuned. Hey, teacher friends, my name is Michelle Holliday. I'm a behavior strategist. I help teachers and schools learn how to manage their classrooms and their students with less stress and less struggle. And in today's video, we will be talking about mistakes that teachers make in the first month of school. Although the first month of school can really be an exciting and fun time, it's also a time that you want to set the tone for how you want the upcoming school year to go. And when I mean set the tone, I really do mean to communicate and establish norms for how you want the class to communicate, interact, and operate as the school year progresses. However, that does not happen by accident, and that's what brings me to mistake number one. Mistake number one is walking into your classroom without a vision or a management system. Here's the truth. If you don't know where you're going, you're never going to get there, including leading your classroom. It's really important to have an idea of how you want your school year to go and how you want your school year to end. Once you have a vision for your school year, then you can begin to implement strategy and practices to make your vision a reality. And now that you have the vision, you can begin to implement the classroom management system that you set up to help you address all the things that come with managing your students and your classroom. When you enter a school year without a vision or a system, it's really hard to make that space once the school year has begun to set the time to create a vision and to create a system. Why? Because your schedules are hectic. There's so many new things that are happening. You're getting to know your students, not to mention all the meetings that you have to attend, all the data that you have to keep track of. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's really more effective to walk into the school year with a vision and walk into the school year with a system that you can use from day one. Mistake number two, letting too many behaviors go unchecked. Typically in the beginning of the school year, when the behaviors start to show up, they're small and they're manageable. Teachers sometimes let those little behaviors go. And over time, those behaviors grow and become big and more challenging and more difficult to rein back in. That's why I believe it's important to address those behaviors when they're small, even in the beginning of the school year. Some teachers think, well, it's the beginning of the school year. I want to be nice. I want to give them a chance. And there's nothing wrong with being nice and giving them a chance. But that doesn't mean that you don't address those behaviors, especially when they're small. Also, it doesn't mean that you have to be severe or harsh when addressing those small behaviors. But if you can address them when they're small and manageable, they're less likely to grow into big challenges as we continue for the rest of the school year. So don't let those behaviors go unchecked that first month. Go ahead and address them quickly and consistently. And for most of your students, you should be able to keep those misbehaviors to a minimum. Mistake number three, not being consistent from day one. Just recently, I finished a year-long program with some new teachers in supporting them with classroom management. And in our reflection, one thing they kept saying over and over is that I wished I had been consistent from day one. Let that sink in for a minute. Consistency from day one. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that consistency is key to being effective and successful with your classroom management. As the leader of your classroom, you're going to have to make a decision from day one, that first month, that you will do what you said you will do. You will follow the system that you put in place. And often what happens is that we allow student reactions, especially those initial reactions, other people's opinions or ideas to come into the mix and make us inconsistent. Or sometimes we're just trying to survive. But here's the key. If you can be consistent with the basics, with your classroom management system from day one, this will give you great momentum in being successful with your classroom management. So there you have it, 3 mistakes that teachers tend to make in the first month of school. Number one, entering into the school year without a vision or a system for management. Number two, letting those behaviors go unchecked. And number three, being inconsistent, especially in the beginning of the school year. So, what can you do to avoid making those same mistakes this school year? I'd love to hear your thoughts. So, leave your responses in the comments below. See you next time.